Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Rabbi's Ramblings. I hope you've had a wonderful week. In this week's Parsha, in the Torah portion, we found that Moses, asks a question of Hashem that many of us may have asked, and that is the question of why. As the story goes, Moshe comes before Pharaoh and says, "The God, the creator of heaven and earth, has said that the time has come for you to release the Jewish people from Egypt." But we see that in place of releasing the Jewish people from Egypt, Pharaoh increases their workload. So Moshe turns to Hashem and says, "Why? Why have you sent me? I have not accomplished anything positive here. All I have caused is my brothers and sisters to have more pain and more suffering. Why have you done this?" So seemingly this is an example where Moshe's faith wasn't that strong. But the Lubavitcher Rebbe explains that no. Asking Hashem the question of why is not a sign of weakness in faith. It actually is a symbol of strength in faith. For if we don't believe in the fact that everything that goes on in the world is orchestrated by Hashem, and we don't believe that everything that Hashem does is good, and we don't believe that Hashem can identify with pain, then you can't ask any questions of Him. Because either He doesn't identify with pain, it doesn't identify with an emotion, the painful emotion that someone is experiencing down here, or not everything He does is good. So how can you ask why does He do bad things to good people? He's not a good creator. And also, if you don't believe that Hashem orchestrates everything in the world, then why are you asking, why did this happen? It happened to be a matter of faith. The fact that we get so worked up when we ask this question of why shows that A, we believe that God causes everything in the world to happen. B, everything He does is good. And see that if there is pain being felt by an individual down here on earth, that Hashem does identify with it. So when someone is asking why, they are actually giving testimony to the fact that they do have faith. And we have to try to expound it and work on that faith. And sometimes we recognize and say that, even though we may not understand how this is good, we have to have faith that everything that Hashem does is good. But by all means, the asking the question of why is not a failure of the faith. It's actually a sign of the strength of it. Shabbat Shalom. Hope you have a wonderful week, and we should never have to ask again the question of why.